So you mentioned perspective. Why don't you
Mhm.
give listeners and viewers a perspective of Earth in relation to the solar system?
Okay. Okay. So I wrote down some notes just so I wouldn't screw this up. Okay, so we have our Earth, and it's the Sun, Mercury, Venus, which is our sister planet because they're about the same size as us.
Which one? Venus?
Venus, yes.
Okay.
Venus, Earth, uh, oh God, Mars, Jupiter. I have it on a tattoo, so I never forget. But
Nice.
Jupiter, Saturn, and then Uranus and Neptune. After that, you have Pluto, but Pluto has not completed an entire orbit since we discovered it in the 30s. So Pluto's way out there.
Yeah.
Um, I could keep. Do you want me to keep expanding or just?
Oh, keep expanding. Yes.
Okay. So you got Pluto, that's way out there. And then you have this thing called the Oort cloud, OORT. And basically, it's just like this thing that surrounds our solar system of like icy debris and just like these rocks, and it surrounds it. After that,
So we have like Earth is it like a galaxy? So we're in a galaxy, right?
so yeah, so
Oh wait,
after
no,
the Oort,
solar system. Earth is in a solar system, right?
correct,
And
which the
then the
solar,
solar system is in a galaxy.
correct.
Okay.
And so in galaxies, there it's been theorized that in every center of the galaxy, we're in the Milky Way, there's a black hole. Um, and we're very far away from black hole, but the Milky Way galaxy has like hundreds of thousands of suns or stars, with hundreds of thousands of planets.
In the
So
Milky Way?
in the Milky Way, yeah. So
Oh.
if you think if you think of this our solar system times 100, 200,000 of them, it's pretty wild. So that's the Milky Way. And to get to the center of our Milky Way from us, it would take light, which is the fastest thing known to men, 100,000 years to get to the center where the black hole is, um,
Wow.
which is huge. After the Milky Way, we have our local group, which is just I don't know why I keep doing air quotes. Just group. Sorry. After the Milky Way, you have our local group, which is just a smattering of other galaxies, the same size, if not larger, than our galaxies. Um, After that, you have the Virgo supercluster, which is thousands of galaxies, and within them, hundreds of thousands of planets and stars. After that, you just have the observable universe to what we know it as. And it's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, I don't know. I think it's a very, I actually said to a friend the other day, I was like, he was asking me like, why aren't more people looking up, and just saying like, our day to day is so not relevant sometimes. And I was like, well, some people like their universes small, and that's okay. They only
Mm,
like it, and some
yeah.
people like them really big.
Well, it's interesting. So I grew up on a farm in Wisconsin, and
Okay.
so I can see the stars. And I live here in Chicago, and this summer, there's not a whole lot of things to do
Mm-hmm.
with COVID and everything. So it's like, why don't we just camp out on the farm? So I had
Yeah.
some friends here that are from the city. One of my friends is from Mexico City, so he's never been out to the countryside. So we're going up to Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're camping out, and we can see their stars. It's vivid and it's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful, and it's interesting that you could look to the northeast and you could see like a lot of light. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "What's that?" And I said, "That's Milwaukee." So like, "Oh wow!" So if you're in the city, there's so much light pollution that you don't get to see the stars.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I mean, Where I'm at, I can see a few stars and I can see, the bright planets if they're in the sky, but it's definitely worth it to go somewhere where there's no light pollution and just look up and be like, "Oh my God," just be mind blown. It's one of the best things ever. Like,
What in where where have you been, like
mhm.
without a telescope, where you were the most awestruck by the stars?
Um, I went to Colorado last summer and I went with this group. It was actually for a dinosaur dig.
Oh,
And we did
nice.
all things dinosaur. It was awesome. But we stayed out. Oh gosh, the name slips, but I want to say it was Colorado Springs. We stayed in yurts and we could stay in a yurt or we could stay in the hotel. And I was like, I'm going full yurt.
What's a
And
yurt?
it's like it's like a glamorized teepee almost.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it has like heating and like a bed, and it was really cool. But you could hear the wind very vividly. Um, but I remember walking outside and I was like, I have to go outside at like 3 a.m. I'm gonna wake myself up. And I walked outside, and obviously, your eyes get used to it, but it was like you
Mm.
could see the I don't want to say space dust, but you could see pieces of the Milky Way. And I
Wow.
was just like, I was out there for like 30 minutes, and I was like, you can't get better than this. And then you saw the mountains, and oh, it was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's awesome.